Hello, hello, hello. Hi, friends. How are y'all today? Not that you can verbally respond, but let me put some oils on. Gotta put my oils on. I hope that everyone is having an incredible week like I am. And I wanted to pop in and celebrate 110 days sober today. I am just feeling so excited, so proud. Probably gonna celebrate every 10 days because at home I'm celebrating every day. And so I wanted to open this up because I get so many questions behind the scene, like asking just random questions. So I'm gonna kind of talk through and talk through some of the questions I get. And then if you have any other questions, you can comment them. If I see them in the replay after I've already shut it out, I'll answer them in the comments. But don't be scared to ask questions because it's really crazy. So 110 days sober, no alcohol, plan on going forever. For those of you that maybe haven't watched my previous videos or posts about this sobriety journey I'm on, the beginning of the year, I was feeling pulled, like I had many other times, to quit drinking, and I'll talk about why and all of that and just all of this stuff. But I felt this pull, so I messaged two of my mommy friends, my girlfriends, that we always joked that we were wino rhinos, like we'd get together, have wine dates, just have a blast together, all of that, feel like crap the next day. And I messaged them, not really thinking they would say yes, but I messaged them and said, hey, my love bugs, I'm thinking of going a year without drinking to completely reset and detox my body, all this stuff. And do y'all want to do it with me? Because they're the two girls that, like, first off, that we'd enjoyed lots of wine together, love them dearly. But also, I know that they're very like-minded. That's why we're friends. And I just wanted to see if they would do it with me. So they said yes, with very little hesitation. And so January 14th was my first day. Kimberly just popped on. She's one of my no wino rhinos. And she's laughing because very little hesitation, right, Kim? Okay, so January 14th is my sobriety date. And within a week and a half, I'd have to go back and like look at posts and like messages in our little group. There's 3 of us in this one little group, no wino rhino. And I was like, this has to be forever. And not just a year, like forever for me. And I made that decision based on how I was feeling, good and bad, the feelings that I was having, good and bad. And I was like, why would I ever drink again? Like, what would be the reasoning to drink again? And I legitimately could not come up with a reason. Because for me, people have been asking, like, were you a raging alcoholic? Were you all of this? Did you drink every day? Blah, blah, blah. There are different, I've never liked the word alcoholic because I come from an alcoholic family. My mother suffers with the disease, and I watched it all growing up. I know what it can do to, try not to get emotional. I know what it can do to families, and I know what it can, the damage it can cause. And it's not just with my mother, it's with other family members I've seen it with and all of that. So I was like, why would I ever drink again, knowing what it could eventually cause? And my naturopath actually, and I might be all over the place, so just bear with me. Try not to cry too much during this video. My naturopath actually said something really cool. I went to see her 2 days ago, and she was like, I have a girlfriend that's sober too, because I talked to her. She's almost like a therapist too. She was like, you know, my girl, her friend is sober and has been, and her husband still drinks, which is fine and all of that. And she said it's like, but she tells her kids, they go, Mommy, why don't you drink? I think her husband actually like brews his own beer and stuff. And she goes, you know what, babies? She said, there is a genetic history and a family history of alcoholism in our family. And it wasn't serving me. And it's kind of like driving in a car and you're going, and there's this really sharp curve. And you're hugging the edge and you're hugging the edge and you're hugging the edge. But all it takes is one deer to run out or one slippery, after a rainy day, one slippery road and you're off the cliff. That's kind of how it was with alcohol. So I didn't even start drinking till I was 21. And so for 13 years I drank. In my 20s I partied hard. I've never done drugs or anything like that, but I drank and my tolerance just kept going. And it would get to the point where I was joking around like, oh, I have a high tolerance. You know, people drink one glass of wine, get tipsy. It would take me a bottle to get tipsy, right? And so, and that wasn't something to joke about. Like, I'm learning all of this, like, through my recovery process. And, you know, it's not something to joke about that you've built up a tolerance your entire life that you can drink a bottle of wine and barely get a buzz, right? That means that your body, it takes a lot more to get drunk because you've drank so much. And so people ask all the time, and keep your questions coming. I will scroll back through as I'm answering them. So people ask all the time, was there one big thing that happened? Was there one thing that, like, you know, happened? No, there was 1,000 little things for the last 13 years that were reasons why I should have quit drinking sooner. I was prone to blackouts, y'all. I wasn't drinking every night, but when I did drink, it was like, it couldn't just be a glass of wine. I would like have to drink a bottle and a half, 2 bottles to like feel the effects. And then it was a thin line between I don't have a buzz to I'm blacked out. And, I'm sad to say in my 20s that I would drink and drive like an absolute idiot. And I thank God every day that I didn't hurt anybody and I never hurt myself. There were times where I could moderate. You know, people are like, well, just cut back, I'm not made up that way. I'm a very addictive personality, hence my business and working it the way I did to get to the top. You know, I have a very addictive personality. And so yes, I could go like a month and like have a glass of wine here or there, have a glass of wine out until I didn't. Until it was too late. And then I would like drink moderation for a month and then I'd boom, black out, right? I'd drink till I blacked out. So it wasn't just one big thing. It was 1,000 little things along the way. And some of them big things, like blacking out is not good. That means your brain has reached a toxic level. It is not okay. And so stepping back and deciding this needed to be forever for me was the scariest, most freeing decision that I've ever made. And people keep asking, well, like, how are you going to do it? Like, whatever. First off, I'm very stubborn. When I say I'm going to do something, 99.9999% of the time, I'm going to do it. I hold myself accountable, which is, I don't know if y'all can see, it's just why I got my sobriety date and the word free. I actually designed this whole tattoo myself because I believe that my sobriety date was the date that I set myself free. I was using drinking as... And y'all ask away, like if y'all have questions. I was using drinking when I was stressed. I was using drinking when I was happy and celebrating. I was using drinking when I was sad. I would use drinking when, believe it or not, I was tired. I would drink. I would use any emotional, good or bad excuse to drink. And a lot more of it was coping and numbing. I'm having to face a bunch of stuff from my past and my childhood that I've numbed for most of my life. You know, it's one of those things that's like, I don't miss it. And I don't go, man, I wish I had a drink right now. I don't do that. But what I do is I acknowledge the situations that flare up the feeling inside where I would drink. So for instance, like Danny and I, we were having a crazy moment like at the airport with Harrison and traveling and stuff. And I was like, in the past, this would be the moment where we would go and sit there and have a drink. Right? And so I don't really go, oh, I wish I had a drink. Like I used to when I was drinking. Harrison would be acting a fool and I would be like, ooh, I need a drink, you know? And I didn't need a drink. Let me preface this with saying, like, if you're a drinker, I'm not judging you. I've been there. I used to drink. I'm not judging you for drinking. Not everybody has an issue. What I realized is I kept trying to tell myself I didn't have an issue when I did. And so drinking to mask and numb and cope is an issue. What I'm finding now, getting out of it and looking from the outside, I'm actually really disgusted, not by the people that drink, but by society and the culture that pushes alcohol as a coping mechanism or as a tool. There's a whole, I don't know why, and like I said, it's not me judging, but I threw away, didn't donate because I don't want to give them to anybody, threw away all of my like funny, drinking shirts that I'd got at Target. There's a whole section of clothes dedicated to alcohol at Target. And I'm like, now looking in, it's like, what was I thinking? And like I said, I'm not judging. I'm just telling you, this is my experience. Yeah, they preach that drinking is the answer. And I'm just like, no, feeling and living is the answer. You know, like I said before, like I'm learning all this stuff. You know, alcohol kills people because it's a group 1 carcinogen. Like, it is bad for you. Unfortunately, we just had a member of our Young Living family pass away from liver failure and cirrhosis and kidney failure, and it's more than likely attributed to drinking. And there's so many cancers that I think there are 8 that they're verified caused by drinking. And so there's no judgment here. Have your wine, do all of that. Do I follow people that glorify drinking now? No, because it's not healthy for me. Do what you want to do. It's just not healthy for me. And so as I learned so much, that our culture and society just pushes you that drinking is okay, and drinking is something that you do to socially fit in. I know that I'm an extroverted introvert, and now I'm honing in more on my introvert skills. Like, I can speak like this and go and speak in front of crowds when it's something I'm passionate about. But if you going to like a party at somebody's house, like, sounds like one of the worst things ever. No offense. Because I like to be alone, I recharge alone, all of that. But I would use drinking to be social. I would use drinking to be comfortable. I would use drinking to numb. So let me scroll back through these really quick so I don't miss anybody's questions. I don't want to miss anybody's questions. Okay. Yay, congrats on 53 days, Sarah. Oh, congrats, Debbie. Sorry, congrats, everybody. What benefits did I see? Okay, first off, I instantly lost weight, like the puffy inflammation in my gut. I still have a little bit because I'm dealing with other health issues with my Lyme disease, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But instant, like, I'm losing like the puffiness in my face. I'm seeing like my jawline again. I am sleeping so much better. I started to see differences within the first week because it was really rare that I would go a week without a drink. And so I started seeing differences. The benefits are I am feeling everything now. I'm not numbing it. I'm an empath by nature, but I'm also like feeling all the feelings. So it's a benefit, but it's also a curse. But with growth comes pain. And so I'm growing through it. I'm just, you don't wake up hungover. You don't wake up feeling like crap. I'm more present with Harrison. I'm more present with Danny. I'm just not escaping anymore. And that's the biggest benefit, is I'm not running. Yay. Hey, no alcohol May is better than nothing. Forever is totally doable. Like, I just know that's what I'm doing. It's not like a thing. Like, I'm sober now. Like, that's it. And I will still continue to celebrate because it is a mental struggle to be around people or go and do things that I've always done with alcohol involved. So the struggle is not ever going to go away, but I hear that it does get easier. Sorry for crying earlier, y'all. Y'all are so sweet. Okay. Yay, 15 years sober, Arden. That's awesome. Okay, what's wrong? great drinking couples and it was awful to be with them. And I don't mind being around people that drink, as long as they're not getting sloppy, then I will remove myself. But if I'm around people that are drinking or having a drink, my family drinks, like it's not a big deal. It doesn't make me uncomfortable at all. I mean, it might a little bit, I won't say at all. But it's not like I'm judging them. I'm not judging anybody. Unless they start to get sloppy, somebody gets sloppy, then I just remove myself from the situation. I do not go to AA meetings. There's a couple of reasons for that. I'm doing a lot of self-discovery and self-care and radical self-care and healing. And as an empath, you have to be careful of the situations you put yourself in or the environment you put yourself in. And going to a meeting, even being around people that are suffering, I have to protect myself. And so going to a meeting filled with other people that are really struggling and suffering through addiction and talking about all of their struggles and like just that environment, I would take on all that energy and it just would not be good. Good for me. The No Wino Rhinos, the girls and I have actually talked about opening up another group, but ours is just the three of us right now because I know for a fact, like they're not drinking. I personally know them. And it's not necessary. We like talk about like bad days and stuff like that, but it's not necessarily like a support, group. It's more of like just our fun little club. I've thought about opening up, like a group for people that want to quit drinking, but I'm not necessarily prepared for that yet. That's just why I'm kind of speaking about it here. Maybe at like the year mark, I could open up. I don't claim to be obviously like an expert on this, but I just want to share my story. Thank you, Katie. I'm looking at questions, sorry. Yes, I threw away all my my drinking slogan shirts. And honestly, yeah, it's crazy that people look down on smoking so much nowadays, even though it's still legal, right? Like, I don't think I know anybody in my close circle that smokes or anything like that. But, and it's so nasty because it affects other people, the smoke and all of that, right? But drinking should be the same way. And I found the best community, sober community. Like, I'm meeting such great, inspiring friends through the sober community. Like, you know, I have a girlfriend, she runs a page called Recovery is the New Black, Michelle Smith, she's incredible. Austin and Laura, it's really cool to see these people that are like on the same path of me and sober and, the life they're living to their fullest and not numbing out and all of that. Yeah, my sweet tooth, that's a good question, Kim, because I know that you are sober. And yes, it did. My sweet tooth got bad because I didn't realize I'm not a sweets eater. And I've always said that. I'm not a sweets eater. I like salty. But really, when I stopped drinking wine, that stopped filling the sweet tooth that I didn't know I had. So for the first month and a half, I had a really bad sweet tooth at night. And I would have to like eat fruit and stuff to try to like calm it. And now I think I'm kind of past that. Kimberly, you're more introverted? Crazy. Was finding support difficult? No, because first off, my husband's supportive. Today is day 88 for Danny. I actually asked him last night if he was ever going to drink again because he was going to do the year with us. And then, but his is day 88 and he said, I don't think so. But I told him I don't mind if he drinks. He wasn't the one with the issue, right? But finding support wasn't difficult, and I dove a lot into online groups. Like I said, the online groups and community is absolutely incredible, and you meet people that are like positive and like fighting their own battles, but like have this positive outlook, and you get to support each other when you're having a rough day, or you get to read other stories that inspire you. Like I have a friend that I follow and she's like 5 years and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get to 5 years. Like it's huge. No alcohol, no numbing substances. It's just incredible. And so, I think that there's ways to find a community, and I've been supporting people behind the scenes and Messenger and all of that are struggling with alcohol addiction, that are scared to come out. And so I'm speaking for them. I'm speaking for anybody that's hiding, that thinks they might have an issue, and really, is it serving you? Like, does alcohol really add anything to your life? Or is it numbing and are you drinking because you are uncomfortable being in social settings? Are you drinking because you get sad? Are you coping with it versus, oh, we're just going to go celebrate and have cheers because my friend's getting married, Or is it something deeper? And I think that's and like I said, I'm not judging. Please don't send me hate mail. I'm not judging those of you that drink. I'm friends with people that drink. I'm the one with the issue. I'm just letting people know what that issue looked like. How often I used to drink in the beginning, once or twice a week, but it was like 1 or 2 bottles in a setting. Yes, 5 pounds in 4 days sounds about right. Yeah, glamorization and glorifying drinking, I just can't stand behind anymore. From what I know, what I've experienced, I feel like an idiot for ever being in that realm of glorifying drinking. I was like, I would have business meetings and have tribe over, and like it would be like mimosas and like brunch, and like I feel off. So if any of my local tribe that have done that with me or come over, like, I'm sorry, because that is no way for me as a leader to lead, and a friend to have events surrounded with alcohol. Like, I don't know, I just feel really awful about it. I know it's my thing, but and you know what? When people ask me why I'm not drinking, because I don't want to like wake up in Texas and then end up in Mexico or something. Because I just can't drink. Like, I physically, it does not serve me. It doesn't do me good, and I don't need it. I've learned this. I don't need it. Congrats on 7 years. And if people look down on you for not drinking, to me, like, sober is the new cool. Like, I'm always shocked when I find people that really inspire me and they're sober, and I'm like, yes, that's so awesome. I love you even more now. And like I said, I have friends that drink, but it's just it's like, I don't know. It's just so cool. I just love it. Like, I'm literally like, I don't care if people don't like me because I'm sober. Yes, and actually my friend Kim said that O'Doul's, like, I'm always like, oh, that's what alcoholics drink. Well, maybe it is, because I actually miss the taste, the flavor of wine in a cold beer. It's not what it did to me that I miss. It's actually that flavor. So I did hear O'Doul's was pretty cool. Yeah, I can't imagine if Danny was a big drinker and I was sober. It'd be really hard. Codependency. Yep, never thought about how bad a meeting would be for an empath. Yeah, it is. I just don't want to put myself in that situation. Sorry guys, I'm trying not to like waste your time, but I want to make sure I get it. Congrats on 6 years. Yeah, and Danny, his thing was, he's 6'2", 260 something pounds. Like, for him to get a buzz, literally because of his size, it would be like a 6-pack. And so to him, it's like, why would I drink and waste all those calories when to like drink all that because he would be drinking to get a buzz, if that makes sense. 4 years, whoop whoop. Sober living is worth it. What do you do if somebody doesn't know and they offer you a drink? I tell them no, thank you. And then if they dig deeper, I'll be like, no, I'm sober, thank you, I don't drink. That simple. I stand so confident in this now. Like, even 110 days in, even 60 days in. I went to Vegas. I think I was in Vegas for day 90. Yeah, day 90 I celebrated in Las Vegas, y'all. It's so empowering to walk around in a group of people that are drinking, or especially in Vegas where you see a bunch of sloppy people and you're like, ooh, they're going to wake up and they're going to hurt tomorrow. I don't miss it. Okay, so I did a video, a whole video, which I can link you to, Lindsay, if you shoot me a message, Lindsay Oliver, that I can link you to. I did a couple weeks ago about all of the oils, because to me, this all comes to emotional and mental support. And I use all the emotional oils for this. Like, I'm so beyond more than anything grateful for my oils during this time, because they have helped sustain me energetically, emotionally, and mentally through this, because majority of the struggle that I have is emotional and mental, and I just praise God for oils more than anything. You know, I started using oils 3.5 years ago. I didn't even know they existed. I got my kit because I needed emotional and mental support after having Harrison, and now it's like come full circle that I'm like relying on them so hardcore for the emotional and mental support. So I'll link you that video if you shoot me a message. Thank y'all so much. Oh, side note, lipstick. I just got my spring collection in. Savvy Toxic Free Makeup, Savvy Minerals. It's Headliner Lip Gloss, y'all. Whew, it's so cool. So pretty. It's so pretty. I don't have cute, perfect, like puffy lips, but so cute. Okay, and I never wear colors, so I'm like, pop it. Thank y'all so much. Oh, I don't want to take anybody's time, but I don't want to make sure. Yes, 2 years. Congrats. Allergic to alcohol. Yeah, I mean, alcoholics or alcohol people, addiction with alcohol, like pretty much. Like if you're wanting to be sober, that's a good way to put it, because I was allergic to it for sure. It made me crazy. It made me sick. It made me, ugh. Nope, you don't have to drink. Thank you, Nicole. I use the fillings kit. I use all the emotional oils. I use fillings kit. I use Stress Away, frankincense, all of that. Thank you for choosing you. Okay. What was the headliner? It's out of the spring collection. Love it. All Savvy Minerals up in her. Okay. So yeah, I think I got to that really quick. I went to my naturopath 2 days ago. Another reassurance that being sober is the thing for me. If I'm going to preach about living a healthy and toxic-free lifestyle, then I need to not be drinking like a fish every week. We found that my Lyme disease, unfortunately, is moved into my brain and my frontal limbic system area and in my brain stem, but it's also on the forefront that now that I'm sober, it's almost like my body is finally ready to detox and move all of that out. And I'm going to be doing emotional code next week, and she put me on some new homeopathic medicines, some holistic type medicines. I'm not going to tell y'all what my naturopath has put me on, because everybody's different, and I'm not going to say, oh, go get this from your holistic doctor. Like, nah. But the neurological Lyme definitely explains my memory loss. I've been having a lot of memory loss. I'll say something, and then like 2 minutes later, I'll ask Danny the same question, and he's like, you just asked me that. I've been doing that a lot lately. Some brain fog issues, and lots of neck and stuff issues. But I'm not going to tell y'all what like holistic medicine she put me on, because everybody's story is different. You need to find a naturopath. You need to find a holistic doctor if you have Lyme and you want that information. As far as oils, it's all emotional, mental support oils, the fillings kit, frankincense, Stress Away. I did it all in that video a couple weeks ago. Thank y'all so much for the love, the support, the encouragement, the community. 110 days feels so good. And I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but guys, if you're struggling, and you're wondering why alcohol is a depressant. For so long, I'd feel depressed and I'd drink. And then I would like drink more because I was depressed. And it was just like this whole thing, right? And I'm learning that being free of alcohol has opened up so many doors, has opened up so many things for me, in ways that I just didn't even know. Like I said, I'm more present with Harrison and Danny. I'm more present in my business. I'm feeling everything, which is good and bad. It's just bonkers, like how good I feel, no hangovers, I don't know. It's the best decision I've ever made, for my well-being, next to starting with Young Living, no joke. And it's only they say it takes about a year for you to kind of feel like really detoxed. The struggle's never going to be over. It's just not. And I'm willing to take that journey for the rest of my life. plain and simple. So if anybody has any more questions, you can comment. If you know, I don't know, if you need to tell somebody your story and you're scared, send me your story in a message. I check all my messages. I love y'all. Thank you for the support and encouragement. And that's it. Okay, love y'all. Happy Thursday.